and welcome back to the second episode of the podcast. Joining me today is Finn.
Hello.
And today, as it's just before the fourth test in the England-India test series, we're going to analyse how the different players have done and rate them out of 10. And then also is going to be a quiz for Finn at the end. So, Finn, cricket news this week to start with, please.
So, in the women's ODI batting rankings, Tammy Beaumont has topped the ODI batting rankings. Zimbabwe are on top against Afghanistan. 15 wickets have fallen. There's apparently a PSL game going on against Islamabad United, Sweater Glazers. And in England cricket news, a significant chunk of £300 million of summer sports recovery package has gone to them. Jack Leach wants better quality pitches for the test matches and in top level cricket. Nottingham has signed a new England seamer. England appoints Tress Kopic and Lewis and Patel as coaches. Kent announces deficit in 2020 accounts. PSL game postponed after forward test positive. Satterweight hit century as New Zealand thrashed England in final ODI. There's a lot into what Jack Leach is saying about the test pitches.
Yes, so lots of good news there, Finn. One of your highlights, mine, Tammy Beaumont topped the batting rankings for the first time. I mean, such a good thing to see English players doing well.
I think that the fact that he got a significant chunk of the £300 million summer recovery package is quite interesting because it shows that the government is going ahead with really endorsing cricket.
Yeah,
because it's been unrecognised for a while, and it's been hard to get younger players into the sport. I think this boost of funding will really help.
Yeah, as will the 100. I think the 100 is going to bring a whole new section of children into the game, and I think that will be really good for the future.
Yeah.
So, without further ado, let's go on to rating the England-India squads. So, we're going to start with the England squad, and we're going to start with the captain, Joe Root, Finn.
Well, come on. He's a great player. I think he's a great bowler and batsman, especially in the batting field.
Yeah.
So I'm going to rate him 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I think he's had a very good tour. He's carried on the form from Sri Lanka, and he picked up his first fifer in the last test in a losing cause, though. I'm going to rate out of 10 for so far this tour. I'm going to rate him a 10. Moving on, Jimmy Anderson.
I've got to say, he's one of the greatest of all time. I'd say he's probably 9.5 out of 10.
He had a brilliant over this series where he just absolutely none of the Indian batsmen could do anything about it. But other than that, he hasn't shown very much form. I mean, they're rotating him with the England rotation policy. I'm going to give him an 8 simply because he hasn't played that many test matches in India. Jofra Archer next, Finn.
Fast bowler, always comes out in form. I think he could sometimes, if he didn't wear himself out so quickly, then he could come out and take some of the lower end batsmen out. So I think I would rate him an 8.
Yeah, he's going to be great in the 100 for the short form. I think as he gets older, he might mature a bit more, slow down a bit, so he has the capacity to bowl more overs if needed. And he's had a fairly strong tour, although there was that problem with his arm that ruled him out of one of the test before last. Overall, he's been fairly consistent. I'm going to give him an 8 for this tour as well. Moving on to Johnny Bairstow, who's only played the third test after going home to see his family. What do you think of him in this series, Finn?
What we've seen in this series, I would say he's been consistent, but he's not been at the top of his form.
Yeah, he's been consistent in low scores. He in his one match he in the second innings especially, I was analysing at the start of his innings. First ball, he goes for a sweep, and I thought that was LBW, but he survived on review. And then he got out the next ball, massive gap between bat and pad. And I think that's what he needs to play better against the spin.
Yeah, definitely. But I think lots of the batsmen would do better in that form. I think from this test, I'd rate him a 7 out of 10. I'd like to rate him higher, but I just won't.
I've got to give him a 5. I don't think he did very well at all. Dom Bess, he's played two of the tests this series, Finn.
I think he's been on good form, but not his best form.
Yeah.
So I'd probably go 8.5.
I'm giving him an 8. Hopefully he comes back in for the final test. Stuart Broad.
Stuart Broady, he's of course an insanely good bowler. He's been on form this test, consistent. Gonna give him 8.9.
I'm gonna give him a 9. Consistently in the wickets or stopping the flow of runs, and I think that's very important in this England team. Rory Burns.
Where do we start? Okay, so he's been on and off form for about a couple of years now. He's relatively new to the England Test side. Of course, he was brought in 2019, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, and
I think it was 2019.
Since he's come back in for the India tour, I don't think he's looked very settled. I reckon he lost his place in the test in the last game, and I think he really has to show the England selectors that he has got what it takes to get back into the side. I'm going to give him a 7 for this tour.
Because everyone has that a couple of games or tests where they just come off a bit. But what shows whether you're actually that good of a player is if you can pick yourself back up again and just dust off what everyone else is saying and just get your head down and grind.
Yeah, that's what he needs to do, yeah.
And get better in your game. So for this test, I'd rate him 7.5. I think he can definitely capitalise on everything and just show everyone that he is the player that you have to be to play in an England Test side.
Yeah. Moving on now, Zach Crawley.
Crawley. Okay. He's I like him a lot. I think he's got a really good personality on and off the pitch. I think he could be a bit better, more on form currently. I think I would rate him 8.
Zach Crawley, yeah, I mean he's had a few nice innings. He looks very set as a batsman. I think his 257 against Pakistan 2 summers ago really cemented that as a young batsman, and he's got potential as well. To be fair,
he's got lots of potential. He just needs to build on that.
Yeah, I agree, and I also think that lots of the England batsmen could prepare better for spin. I mean, I know these wickets haven't been ideal, but for some of them, you've just got to defend, and that's not how most of them play.
No. They want to kind of hit stop like lots of players do, but I think what England have taken a bit of a risk, the selectors have taken a risk, is bringing in the younger players who haven't quite shown, who are still trying to prove a point in why they should be in this side. So they're trying to hit big shots against a team like India, who play lots of spin and have a really, really strong bowling side.
Let's move on a bit now. Ben Foakes, I mean, he's played one or two tests. I think he looks a brilliant keeper, and he's looked one of the most set batsmen for England with the bat as well.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to give him 9 out of 10 for the test he played, because I just think his technique's amazing. He stands up to Stuart Broad.
Yeah, I'm going to give him 8.7.
Cool. Okay, Dan Lawrence. He's played in the first couple. I'm a big fan of his. Young talent, plays for Essex. Will have learnt from Alistair Cook as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think the fact that he's had the leadership of Alistair will definitely bring him on as a player. I think he definitely has lots of potential. I think I'm going to rate him an 8.7 again.
I'm going to give 8. He hasn't been amazing this tour, but he has shown some resilience.
Definitely. I think the selectors need to see that he will improve over time.
Jack Leach.
Well, from going from just coming in as a spinner and then that amazing
that amazing 1 off 18 balls.
Yeah, amazing single.
Yeah.
The most famous single ever.
He's played nicely during the series. He just needs to find some consistency on some good pitches for a spinner. I'm going to rate him 8.5.
I'm going to go the same too.
Ollie Pope. I'm a huge fan of his. I think he's played very, very well, and he should look resilient with Ben Folkes. They've been quite together. He reminds me of a bit of a young Ian Bell, and I think lots of the other commentators have picked up on that as well. I think he has a massive future ahead of him, and I like the way he plays, so I'm going to rate him a 9.
I think that I'm going to rate him an 8.
Yeah. Dom Sibley, the opener.
Dom Sibley, he's been on and off form again, like lots of batsmen. But I think he's definitely got potential and definitely proved the selectors wrong because he's been in and out of the side a bit recently.
Yeah, he just needs to cement that place with Roy Burns at the top of the order. Ben Stokes.
I've been honestly this after that short break, I think he slowly has his place cemented in this team. I think that he needs to show the selectors that he is still prepared to play for England.
Yeah,
and I think this test he hasn't been as good as he could be.
He just needs to find a bit of form, I reckon.
Yeah, if he manages to bat himself get into 20 or 30, I think he'll definitely get into the hundreds even.
Very explosive. Ollie Stone, he's only played one test. Let's not dawdle on him too much. But I like the way he bowled. I thought he should have retained his place, but last test, day-night, they went for their well-known fast bowlers. But yeah, for the test he played, I'm going to give him an 8.
Yeah, I'm going to give him a 7.
Chris Wokes, he hasn't played, and Mark Wood hasn't played either, so we won't analyse them. Moving on to the India team now, we have Virat Kohli.
He's been doing amazingly, but something I think we definitely need to say here is the shock on his face when he got out.
Yeah. I like how they had to show him the replay of when he got clean bowled. That's quite funny. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 for me. I think he's a class batsman, and he showed that even with a slightly poor run of form in this series.
Yeah, I think again 10 out of 10.
Yeah. Ravi Ashwin, spinner.
I think that he, of course, being an England fan, I don't like him, but he's really good. I think that's good.
He's a local hero. I mean, he can bat as well. He started as an opener. And he played so well in the last couple of tests. Based on form, I would say he's better than most of the England bowlers. I'm going to give him a 10. I think the way he's played this series has been superb.
Yeah, definitely.
Axar Patel.
I think he's definitely a good player for India.
Yeah, he bowled well. Opened the bowling of Ashwin in the last test. Yeah, I think he's got a huge future ahead of him. I'm going to give him a 9 for this series so far.
Yeah, I'll give him an 8.5.
Cool. Jasprit Bumrah, he's always been around the Indian setup. I I think he's very professional, and he has a lovely flowing action, but it's quite unusual. I think of him highly, although he hasn't played that many. He's played 1 or 2 in this series, but I reckon he'll be back for the 4th test. I'm going to give him an 8. He's been fairly consistent.
I think he's been consistent and he showed form. He's been in the setup for a long time. So, yeah, I'm going to give him a 7.9.
Shubman Gill, the new opener.
I think he's shown potential, definitely. I think he definitely deserves to be in the 4th test. So, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I'm going to give him an 8. Ishant Sharma played his 100th test recently. Absolute veteran of the game.
Breaking records. Maybe one that he wouldn't really want to break himself, but I think he's a really good player, definitely.
Yeah. Rishabh Pant, the wicketkeeper.
I think he's a really good wicketkeeper. There's not much more I can say. He's shown form and he deserves to be in the setup.
He's almost like a Chris Gale, the way he bats, just tries to hit every ball for 6. And I think, I'm going to give him an 8. He's had few good innings in this series. Cheteshwar Pujara.
I just really like him. I think he's really, really good at what he does. I think he's definitely a role model for younger players.
Yeah. I think he's an old-fashioned test batsman, the way he plays with his pad. I'm going to give him a 9. Always consistent, and I love the way he plays.
Yeah, definitely.
Next is Ajinkya Rahane.
I really like him as a player. I think he's shown lots of potential, and I think once again he deserves to be in the side.
I agree. I was lucky enough to meet him when India toured England in 2018. He's such a lovely guy as well. I'm going to give him an 8.
I'll give him a 8.5.
Rohit Sharma.
There's not much to say about him. I think, that's place inside. He's a really good player, and I think he's really good at what he does, actually.
Yeah, opening and batting. I'm going to give him a 9. Brilliant this series. A few lovely hundreds.
Yeah.
Washington Sundar.
I think he's been on form, but been off form in other tests. I think I really like him as a player. I think, once again, he deserves to stay for the side. I think that the Indian select have done really well with this side.
Yeah, Washington Sundar. I think he hasn't had a very good series in terms of the way he's played. But, nice. Mohammad Siraj has only played 1 test. I'm going to give him an 8. Wasn't very consistent. And what are your thoughts on him, Finn?
I like him. But I just like him.
I like the way he bowls, slingy. So, now it's time for Finn's quiz, last little bit of the episode. So, Finn, your quiz today it's nearly the time that the T20 World Cup would have been, but it's been delayed by a year. How many teams do you think you could name?
The T20 World Cup?
Yeah, there's 16 teams. Why don't you start with the obvious ones?
Okay, so the T20 World Cup, I've just got to name all the teams.
Yep, that's correct.
Okay, well, I'll start with England.
Yep.
India.
Yep.
Australia.
Yep.
Afghanistan.
Yeah.
I don't know where I got that one from, really. I just plucked it out of the air. Pakistan.
Yep.
New Zealand. How did I get New Zealand?
Yeah.
West Indies.
Yes.
South Africa.
Yep. Yeah, you're going along nicely here. You've still got quite a few obscure ones to get.
I know, I have hit a mind blank, but give me a second. Did the Netherlands play?
Netherlands? Yeah, you've got one. That's good. That was hard.
I said Sri Lanka?
No, I don't think you have.
Ireland get in?
Did Ireland? Yeah, Ireland did.
I'm on form.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I've hit another bit of a mind blank here. I was going to say Canada, but no.
No, Canada aren't there.
Bangladesh.
Yeah, Bangladesh are in there.
Oh, I've nearly run out. I think I've got about 2 more. Thailand.
No, they're not in it. I think you've got 4 left to get.
Sure. I've said the West Indies, haven't I?
Yeah, I don't think you're going to get them. Do you want to know what they were?
No, give me 2 more minutes.
Okay, Finn's literally going sweaty here. He just really wants to win.
Okay, how about Nepal?
No, that's a good guess though.
Possibly. Wait, Hong Kong were on form. Are they?
No, Hong Kong narrowly missed out in the qualification.
Oh, that was really.
Yeah, I thought that was. I would have said that.
Okay, go on. Tell me now.
The other ones were Oman,
Scotland.
Papua New Guinea, Scotland. Yeah. And Namibia. So you got most of them there, Finn. But the World Cup's something to look forward to.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, thank you for listening, guys. We have just launched our Twitter page, which will be linked in the description. But thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you in the next one. If you have any comments or anything, suggestions, ideas, inquiries, just go to our website and click on the contacts page, and we'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. But for now, we hope you enjoyed the podcast, and see you in the next one. Bye.